All right, media team, over to you for the national anthem.
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu kinguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you, our chief guest. You may be seated. Our guests, thank you. Our chief guests, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry for Education, the Honorable Julius Migos Ogamba, our Principal Secretary, State Department for Co-Operatives, the Honorable Patrick Kelemi, our Assistant Director for Higher Education, representing the PS State Department for Higher Education and Research, Madam Consolata Awalo, our University CUK Chancellor, who has joined us virtually, Dr. Bernard Chitunga, our Chair of Council, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, esteemed Council members of CUK, our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kamau Ngamau, our international partner and great friend of the Cooperative University, Professor Alfred Sife, the Vice Chancellor Moku, our Deputy Vice Chancellors, Professor Isaac Nyamongo and Professor Estegisheru, all invited guests, cooperative movement leaders, the industry champions, our participants and scholars, our CUK staff and Moku staff, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Jambo. Yeah, thank you. Now, since we have partners from Tanzania, we say jambo and karibu sana to our friends from all the way from Moshi, and of course, all the participants and delegates from all walks of life who have been able to join us during this stakeholders conference and the 8th scientific conference that is held here at Sawela. Our chief guests, we are delighted this morning as a cooperative university to have you and the entire team that has joined us this morning. In our midst today, we have over 190 participants who have been able to join us, drawn from different sectors for this third stakeholders conference and the 8th scientific conference. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, as earlier communicated, we'll move on straight on to our program of the day. And to be able to move the program forward at this moment, you'll allow me now invite our University Vice Chancellor, Professor Kamau Ngamau, who is going to deliver his speech, and thereafter invite his counterpart, Professor Sife, also to give a speech, and then thereafter we're going to guide the program accordingly. Please let's appreciate Professor Kamau Ngamau as he comes forward.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. I can only hear people from this end. Good morning from this end. Good. Yeah, we are delighted this morning to be here during this opening session of this 8th Annual Scientific Conference and 3rd Cooperative Movement Conference that is being held today here at Sawela in Naivasha. Our chief guests are the Honorable Cabinet Secretary in charge of Education, Julius Migos Ogamba, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Co-operatives, Mr. Patrick Kilemi, the Chancellor, the Cooperative University of Kenya, Dr. Bernard Chitunga, who is joining us online, the Chairperson of the CUK Governing Council, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, members of the CUK Governing Council present, the Vice Chancellor of the Moshi Cooperative University, Professor Alfred Sife, members of CUK's Management Board and Senate present, members of MOKU Management Board and Senate present, national and county government officials present, the Chief Executive of SASRA, Mr. Peter Njuguna, distinguished guests, keynote speakers and panelists, our sponsors, stakeholders in the cooperative movement, members of faculty and the administration of CUK and MOKU who are present, students, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to join you this morning, even as we celebrate the opening of this greatly honored conference, being our 8th Annual Scientific Conference and the 3rd Movement Cooperative Movement Conference. I'd like to remind you that last year, the State Department of Cooperatives, together with the Cooperative University of Kenya and the Platform Cooperativism Consortia, organized the 2nd Joint Cooperative Conference from the 4th to the 8th of November in Mombasa, a conference that brought together over 300 participants from 33 countries across the world, with special focus on digitization and digitalization in the cooperative sector and the championing of platform cooperatives as an innovation of the cooperative business model. It is also during that year that MOKU hosted the CUK during the 4th International Conference, which is the equivalent of the scientific conference in CUK. The stakeholders and scientific conferences have been instrumental in bringing together stakeholders to harness their collective energy and thoughts for a better cooperative sector. It is the role that CUK, as the intellectual arm of the cooperative movement, prides itself in, undertaking as a way of reducing the gap between researchers and academicians on one side and practitioners on the other. It is indeed all the training and research we conduct that is meant to benefit the sector. If there is no forum through which the two parties can come together to discuss the issues academicians and researchers undertake during the training and research, this may be a challenge in bringing this to reality. And so we really want to appreciate this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, on the theme of our conference this year, Cooperatives Build a Better World, Re-energizing the collective power of cooperatives in Africa. The theme mirrors the 2025 International Year of Cooperatives theme, which is Cooperatives Build a Better World. Being part of the cooperative movement, we at the Cooperative University of Kenya celebrate the International Year of Cooperatives declaration by the United Nations in recognition to the role of stakeholders in changing the socioeconomic transformation of the communities and the attainment of SDGs. Further, we take pride in knowing that by being deliberate in actualizing the fifth cooperative principle on education, training, and information, we have made a significant contribution to this success. We have what it takes to catapult the cooperative sector in Africa to a higher level, and indeed our pledge to the continent. As a university, we offer special thanks to the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSME Development, represented by the Principal Secretary, Mr. Kilemi, for being our anchor, the same way a good parent is to their children. We are a unique university because we have dual parentage. We have mama mzazi na mama mlezi. As a university, we evolved from the cooperative ministry. We were a department of the Ministry of Cooperatives. And when we became a university, we moved to the Ministry of Education. So Mama Mzazi is the Ministry of Cooperatives, and Mama Mlezi is the Ministry of Education. So we are very blessed to have that dual parentage. So we thank the PS for always supporting us to be the best. Thank you for always challenging us to be better, to look beyond the horizon, to see the immense possibilities that the cooperative sector holds. Thank you for practicing an open door policy that has enabled us to approach and consult you on any matter, including our thoughts and proposals for a more focused and successful sector. You have created an enabling environment to ensure that we thrive, the only limit being our own momentum to grab the opportunities that you bring our way. The recent appointment of one of our members of faculty, Dr. Moses Gwe, to the Committee of Eminent Personalities to study, engage, and recommend areas of improvement in SACCO and their legal regulatory framework is a clear testament of the honor your ministry in general and the State Department in particular bestows on CUK and its capacity. We remain in your debt, sir. To our chief guests, we are honored by your presence. We thank you most sincerely for accepting our invitation. We acknowledge and appreciate your ministry's continued support of our programs and activities. For a long time, CUK has operated without a substantive chancellor. Sir, it is under your tenure. Actually, for 8 years, we were without a chancellor. As a VC, I did not know how to operate with a chancellor because by the time I came in, we did not have a chancellor. But the law allows our chair of council to step in during graduation, and we really want to thank our chair of council, Dr. Bundi, and his predecessors who were able to discharge that mandate very effectively during that period. Sir, it is under your tenure that we now have a chancellor, Dr. Bernard William Chitunga, the youngest occupant of the office of a titular head of an institution of higher learning in Kenya's history, and indeed in the world. He's joining us virtually, and we are really delighted to have him as our chancellor. This is one of the many achievements that we do not take for granted, and we have you, your principal secretary, Dr. Beatrice Inyangala, and your entire ministry to thank. You have been instrumental in ensuring that all our requests are processed in record time, including approvals of the Memorandum of Understanding with the targeted institutions. Thank you for being CUK's brand ambassador. We pledge to continue working closely with your ministry for effective execution of our mandate. Thank you, our honorable CS. It is now my singular duty and honor to invite my counterpart from Moku, Professor Alfred Sife, to address the gathering. So welcome, Bwana Vice Chancellor. Karibu.
Good morning. Jambo. Honorable Dr. Julius Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Patrick Kilemi, PSA Cooperative Development. I should also recognize the presence of the Chancellor, who is joining us online, Dr. Chitunga, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, Chairperson of the Council of the Cooperative University of Kenya, Professor Ngamau, the Vice Chancellor. All protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen. Chief Guest, I should start by saying that it is a great privilege and honor for me to stand before you today, actually to bring the warm greetings from Tanzania and the Moshi Cooperative University in particular. We wanted to express our heartfelt appreciation for being hosted here in at this 3-day conference in Naivasha. Honorable guests of honor, I should thank your presence here today. As it has been pointed out, we are actually from Moshi, we are not invited. We are the co-partners of this conference, so we are attending our conference here. So we thank you very much for accepting the invitation to officiate the opening of this conference. This reflects your strong commitment to higher education, to research, and to advancement of cooperative development in the region. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to the management of CUK and the conference organizing committee for making this conference a success. We were some of our members of staff were in the organizing committee remotely, but we are sure that those who were here, led by the Madam Chairperson, did a great work to make sure that this conference come to reality. And I should also thank all paper presenters and keynote speakers. It has been a preparation of almost a year since the calls were out. So we thank them very much for their tireless efforts and to make this 3-day event a reality. Chief guest, together with me, is a delegate of 34 members of staff. Most of them are paper presenters from the Moshi Cooperative University who have journeyed to this conference. My colleagues and I have been given such a warm reception, which is incredibly humbling. We are indeed grateful for the logistical support and everything we are receiving so far in Naivasha. I should say briefly, for the benefit of those who are not familiar with our university, the Moshi Cooperative University has a long history. As an institution, it was founded in 1963 as a cooperative college in Moshi, and in 2004, it was transformed to a constituent college of the Sokoine University of Agriculture in Tanzania, and by then it was known as Moshi University College of Cooperative and Business Studies, famous as MUCOBS. Then in 2014, it became a full-fledged university, and currently we have 2 campuses, one in Moshi and a small one in Shinyanga, Western Tanzania. And our student population is around 80,000, offering 38 academic programs ranging from certificates to PhD. Chief guest, our involvement in this conference is driven by our mutual commitment to advance and exchange knowledge. It is also part of implementing a memorandum of understanding entered between our 2 institutions, CUK and MOC. And it's a call for the Inter-University Council of East Africa, which has been this is a response to the call by IUCEA, which has been always advocating for institutions of higher learning in East Africa to collaborate. Initially, as it has been pointed out, we were running these conferences separately, but finally, at last, we found that it will be important that we jointly organize and run these conferences, and actually to bring that sense of internationality, because sometimes we were calling this international scientific conference, and you find that the presenters are from Nairobi, from Mombasa, from Eldoret, and in Naivasha. You don't see that sense of internationality. But if you have presenters from Nairobi and from Rombo and Arusha, that is international. Mr. Guest of Honor, much has been said by Professor Ngamau. What I can say, as stated earlier, MOCU and CUK agreed to undertake this joint conference on a rotational basis. Let me take this opportunity now to extend our invitation to the next conference, which will be held in Moshi next year. Our special invitation to you, chief guest, to the PS, this is the cooperative sector. Please, we are inviting you, and to all other delegates in this room and those beyond. The chairperson of the body attended our last conference in Moshi. I'm sure that he will join us in Moshi next year again. The theme, the date, and the other logistical arrangements will be communicated to you later. So thank you, and I wish everyone a very fruitful conference. Asanteni sana.
A round of applause for the Vice Chancellors, please. Thank you, our Vice Chancellors. They have set the tone for us, our chief guests, at this moment. Before we can introduce the next speakers, I would like to inform you, chief guests, that this, as you've learned, is a joint venture that has been organized with a lot of support from our State Department for Cooperatives, who are heavily represented here, and therefore, for the purposes of our chief guests, the employees and officers from State Department, Cooperatives, please, you can show us by a show of hands. State Department, you can see the Commissioner Cooperative there, and yes, there's a lunch team at the back there. Thank you so much, State Department. We also have the other partner being the Cooperative University, and our chief guests, we have our staff members around, CUK staff, wherever you are, please, can you, by a show of hands? Yes, appreciate them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sister University, Moku, our Vice Chancellor, you've seen him, but we have a large delegation from Moku. Please, by a show of hand again, where are you? There they are. Yes, our delegates from Moku, thank you, thank you. And our chief guest, this conference to be a success, there's a team that has really worked hard, as you've heard from our vice chancellors, the conference organizing team. I request, please, you be upstanding. The joint conference organizing team, wherever you are, please be upstanding. Let's appreciate these great dons and team of experts that have pieced together this conference. Thank you, thank you. We would not, of course, have had a successful conference without our partners and our sponsors. I know they are here, and since you're just the 5 of you, please, I'll take a few minutes and request you come forward. Our 5 sponsors, we have Stima Sacco, CIC Group, Mwalimu National DT Sacco, Cooperative Bank, and Police Sacco. Please appreciate them as those 5 institutions come forward here. Kindly, let's redeem time. Our sponsors, Stima Sacco, CIC Group, Mwalimu National DT Sacco, Cooperative Bank, and Police Sacco. Our chief guest, these institutions have really partnered with us, and this is not the first time we are getting a team supporting us and sponsoring the successful conferences. Please, you can come over. We'd like you to say jumbo to the participants. So we'll allow you to introduce yourself and the institution and the word in a few minutes.
Thank you. Good morning. Morning once again. My name is Muganda James from Mwalimu National Sacco, and we are just here to support this initiative. We are here to make sure that everyone is happy. So karibuni sana. And thank you so much. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. Allow me to ride on the protocols established earlier. My name is Jacinta Morabosire, and I head training and product development working with cooperatives at CIC Insurance Group. To our hosts and co-hosts, CUK and Moku, thank you. It is such a great honor, and we are proud to work with you. We firmly believe in the principle of cooperation among cooperatives, and as a company, we have grown over time to be a group of about 18 companies because of the support from the cooperative customers who also happen to be our shareholders. So thank you so much for this opportunity, and we always commit to support the cooperative movement, growth, and development. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. My name is Terry Mwangi, representing Stima DT Sacco in Kenya here. So on behalf of Stima Sacco, we are very pleased to be part of this forum. In Stima Sacco, we do believe in cooperation among cooperatives and also collaboration. And what this forum gives us is an opportunity to work together as cooperatives. And we especially give our thanks to the CUK and also the Moshi University for Cooperatives for creating this opportunity for us to come together as cooperatives to be able to engage and also chart our way forward for impact. So we are truly grateful, and we look forward to more collaborations. Thank you very much.
Good morning to you. Yeah, all protocols observed. I want to say we are very grateful. My name is Michael Goroi from Cooperative Bank. We came here, 3 of us. So, and we want to say that we are very grateful to the organizers of this event. We want to say that we are standing with you. We are moving with the movement. We are standing in the gap, and we look forward to supporting the resolutions that come from this. So we are really appreciative for your invite. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. All protocol observed. My name is Nancy Gakwo for Co-Operative Bank, and I'll hand over to Yusla to speak on behalf of the bank. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Yusla. I work for Co-Operative Bank. I'm in the Co-op Consultancy. Co-op Consultancy does advisory for our cooperatives. It's a delight this morning and to be here. And I'd want just to pass one or two words to our cooperatives. First and foremost, we want to appreciate the presence and acknowledge the presence of our chief guests. We want to appreciate the Cooperative University of Kenya and the Moshi Cooperative University for making this happen. I just have one word to say. Number one is we appreciate what our cooperatives are doing. If you look at our Kenyan economy, we control, our cooperatives control billions. If you look at the Tanzania economy, I was trying to look at it yesterday, you're also controlling billions from your side, which is a big thing. Then when you look at what we are silently and actively doing in the realization of the Millennium Development Goals, I realized that our cooperatives are working very hard towards fighting poverty and hunger. I'd want to urge our sisters and brothers from Tanzania, please make sure you take our Mwea rice back to Tanzania. When I was in Tanzania, I was able to taste the milk of Mount Kilimanjaro, and it was great. We also have Mount Kenya, Meru Dairy. Please also get a packet of it as you go back. And that is how our cooperatives are doing great things in this country. When you look at Mount Kenya, it is controlling a big portion of our milk production. And I'm sure Mount Kilimanjaro is also doing the same thing, which is a good thing. We respect our cooperatives. When you look at what our cooperatives are also doing in the health sector, you'll be surprised. We have a cooperative called Imarisha Cooperative Societies in Rift Valley. They have a program where they promote health. They call it the Pongea program. Now this Pongea program, from it we've been able to realize babies through for the ladies who are not able to get babies, they give you money, you go for IVF. That is great for our cooperatives. They realize how important that is. They also support people who are having challenges, like terminal diseases. They give you some pocket money, so that when you go home, when nobody is looking at you and maybe probably people are having a burden, they are able to give you something small to keep you going, to recover and go back and be active in the community. When you look at, I was looking at another circle that is pro-life, and they are partnering with some organization in Dagoretti, and they are rescuing girls who are dropping out of school. So they give you some safe haven, you get your child, you go back to school, finish your school, and they give you some seed capital. If you don't want to go back to school, maybe you feel like maybe I'm ashamed, you go back to school, you finish, and you become an active member of the society. So those are our cooperatives. We are doing great things. And I'm happy for that. Even for our cooperatives within our universities, we are even having a particular program for our cooperatives so that we make the cooperatives thrive, because we are the key economy movers in our country. So be blessed as we go back. I'm sure that it will be a great exchange program. We've been invited to come back to our country. We are going to learn a lot from your side. But also, for the few days you'll have, visit a few cooperatives within our country, and we do a great exchange program. Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Francis Bwire. I'm a member of council, Kaimosi Friends University, and I'm also representing the CEO, Kenya National Police SACCO. Riding on the protocol observed, our chief guest, we really thank you for according us your presence this morning. This is a very important conference, and we are really learning a lot. So because of time, thank you very much, and let's continue learning. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Sponsors, we really, really appreciate you. And this is academia. So please, let's do it a little bit mathematical to appreciate our sponsors with a 5 factorial. Let's warm our hands. A very hearty clap. Let's go. 1, 2, go. Our sponsors, thank you once again. Our chief guest, in our presence also, we have quite a number of participants drawn from various areas, and as you note, the cooperative sector is one of the devolved functions of our constitution, and therefore, as we recognize the national government, we also recognize the presence of our colleagues from the county government. So please, if you're there from the county government, let's see by a show of hands. Thank you, let's appreciate them. Yes, I can see that was in issue, and there's a team at the back there. Thank you so much. We have a representation from Mafanikio SACCO all the way from Mombasa. Please, let's appreciate them. Thank you. Blue Eagle SACCO from Nairobi, and delegates from Blue Eagle. Let's appreciate them. Thank you. We have the Georgetown University all the way from South Africa. We have a delegate from South Africa. Let's appreciate. Thank you. We have our We Effect. Appreciate them, please. Tabasamu SACCO all the way from Mombasa. Yes, namuona pale. Asanteni sana. Imarika SACCO from Kilifi County. Asanteni sana. God bless you. We have Kenvarsity SACCO. Kenvarsity SACCO, yes, a good team is there. Appreciate them. We have Cusco also in our presence. The representation from Cusco. Yes, please, let's appreciate our brother. Thank you so much. Indeed, we are cooperating as cooperatives. We have a CEO, Sasra. Wanapita Juguna. Please, let's appreciate. Yes. Thank you so much. IG SACCO all the way from Kakamega. The team from Kakamega, we can see you there. Thank you. We have New 40 SACCO from Nyeri. We can see you there. Thank you. We continue acknowledging your presence. I really appreciate you, our participants, for joining us. As we come to the end of that, we also note the presence of our various keynote speakers, our chief guests. We have a keynote speaker from the World Vegetable Center. I know they are here around. Yes, we have IC Africa. Let's appreciate them. We have a keynote speaker from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ministry of Agriculture. Our brother Victor is there. Let's appreciate him, please. We have WEAC Zambia. Let's appreciate them. Yes, our brother. Thank you so much. And then we have the National Youth Council of Kenya. Yes, appreciate. Madam, thank you so much, our keynote speakers, for taking time also to prepare and facilitate their respective sessions. Our chief guests at this moment now, I would like to invite back our Vice Chancellor, who is going to lead the program by inviting our Chancellor, who is joining us virtually, so we have a blended session. Our media team, I'm hoping we are ready for that. Vice Chancellor, please, over to you. Let's appreciate our Vice Chancellor as he comes forward, please.
Our chief guests, Honorable Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba, all protocols observed. I wish to now take this opportunity to invite our Chair of Council, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, to give his remarks. After he has given his remarks, he will invite our Chancellor, Dr. Bernard William Chitunga, to give his speech, he will be doing it virtually. Welcome, Dr. Bundi. Thank you.
Our dear participants, good morning. I'm Jambo. Our chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Education in Kenya, Honorable Julius Ogamba, the Principal Cabinet Secretary, Mr. Patrick Kilemi, accompanied by the Commissioner of Co-Operative, Mr. Obonyo, and not seen you area, most welcome. Our Chancellor, all the way from China, Dr. Bernard William Chitunga, Mtoto wa Shegulo, as we always refer you to. Members of the CUK Governing Council, I'd like to introduce my Governing Council, please, very quickly. Christine, representing the PS, State Department for Education, Higher Education. Thank you very much. Mr. John Kiara, Independent Council Member and the Chair of the Audit Committee and Risk Committee. Chris Ogechi, very able Chair of my HR Committee. And also Peris Onsarigo, the Chair of the Steering Committee and a distinguished Council Member. Thank you very much, distinguished Council Members of the CUK Council. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Kamau Gamau. The Chancellor of the Mosh Cooperative University, Professor Alfred Sife. Members of Management, Senate and staff of CUK and Mosh Cooperative University. Our county government officials present. Representatives of national cooperatives organizations, distinguished guests, academic presenters, and participants from the academic and cooperative movement across Africa and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. It is with great pleasure and honor and deep appreciation that I join you at this third Cooperative Movement Stakeholders Annual Conference and the 8th Scientific Conference organized by the Cooperative University of Kenya and the Moshi Cooperative University. Let me begin by acknowledging and sincerely thanking all stakeholders, presenters, and researchers who responded to our call for abstracts and have enriched the platform with high-quality research, presentations, and crucial critical dialogue. Your dedication to advancing scholarship in the cooperative sector is not only commendable, but vital to the continued relevance and resilience of the cooperative movement. This year's conference theme, Cooperatives Build a Better World, Re-energizing the Collective Power of Cooperatives in Africa, could not be more timely or more powerful than the presentations being given by the presenters. As we navigate a continent full of promise, the challenges, it is clear that cooperatives as community-rooted, values-driven enterprises must be at the heart of Africa's transformation story. Cooperatives are unique in their ability to democratize economic participation, promote equity, and address real issues from the grassroots level. They bring people together to solve common problems through shared ownership and responsibility. Through this year's theme, we are reminded that the strength of cooperatives lies not just in numbers or capital, but in the collective power of people working for a shared goal. Ladies and gentlemen, and our chief guest, as we reflect on our journey, I wish to acknowledge the significant progress made in the past 2 editions of this annual Stakeholders Conference. We have seen more institutions coming on board, more counties embracing structured cooperative development, and increased attention to data-driven policy, innovation, and sustainability in the sector. We are particularly grateful for the strategic partnership that continue to grow. The university has signed 9 memorandums of understanding with the various county governments, focusing on capacity building, training, joint research, cooperative registration, and policy support. These partnerships demonstrate that when academia, policy, and practice align together, we can unlock immense potential for social and economic transformation. To our cooperative organizations, SACCOs, unions, and federations present, and also the Secretary General for SACCO, the regulator, here today, thank you for your unwavering support and collaboration. Your voices and insights are crucial in helping us keep our academic offerings relevant and responsive to evolving needs of the sector. To our researchers and scholars, both seasoned and emerging, I encourage you to continue exploring new knowledge frontiers. The challenges we face, from climate change to youth unemployment, demand homegrown solutions rooted in evidence and anchored in the cooperative model. I would like to remember in the last conference in Moshi, the president of the International Cooperative Alliance, His Highness the High Chief Ayora, provoked and observed that the youth population is very high in Africa, and requested us to leverage and give the youth a bigger platform to participate in the cooperatives. I'm very glad to note from the ICA, Dr. Rose Karimi, in your presentation, the ICA has initiated programs for the youth cooperatives and also for the gender cooperatives and worker cooperatives in Africa. Thank you very much, and pass our regards to the High Chief, the President of ICA Africa. On the same token, I remember in our last conference, Professor Hagen Henry, the chair of the International Cooperative Law Committee, also challenged us to have some changes in the cooperative law structures and procedures so that we customize our cooperative laws to our needs of individual countries. I'm very delighted to note, Mr. Chief Guest, yesterday's presentation by Dr. Mbuya. Where is Dr. Mbuya? You gave a very good presentation and proposed policy changes and also the procedures, so including even self-regulation, which might be controversial to our social regulators. But it was a very good finding, and it's all very good. We can see how we can change laws to our customized cooperatives. As a University Council of the Cooperative University of Kenya, we remain committed to supporting the Cooperative University of Kenya in fulfilling its mandate to be a leader in the cooperative education, policy engagement, innovation, and community empowerment. In conclusion, Chief Guest, may this conference be a space of learning, reflection, and renewed commitment to building a better world through stronger, smarter, and more sustainable cooperatives. Thank you for your presence, Chief Guest, and the PS, and all the participants. Your passion and your contributions are well noted and taken in recognition. May God bless you, and may God bless the cooperative movement in Kenya. Asanteni sana, marafiki wetu kutoka Tanzania, South Africa, and other areas of the world. Thank you very much, and be blessed. At this juncture, VC, we invite our Chancellor, the youngest Chancellor in the world, Dr. Bernard William Chitunga, who our Chief Guest knows quite well and normally visits him in China, a very dynamic gentleman with a lot of focus on the cooperative movement and cooperative education in Kenya. Welcome, Dr. Chitunga. The FCT team.
Thank you, Dr. Bundi, for your kind words. Participating virtually is always a challenge, so the question is always, can you hear me? Dr. Bundi,
you can proceed, Chancellor.
For somebody to signal if we are okay.
We are okay and listening, Chancellor.
We are okay.
Proceed.
Thank you, thank you. Our Chief Guest, Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Honorable Julius Migos Ogamba, Principal Secretary, State Department for Cooperatives, Honorable Patrick Kilemi, our Chairperson, our Leader of the Governing Council of CUK, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, and the members of the Governing Council of the Cooperative University present, our Vice Chancellor of our university, Professor Kamau Ngamau, our friend, Vice Chancellor Moshi Cooperative University, Professor Alfred Sife, the members of the management and Senate and staff colleagues of Cooperative University and Moshi Cooperative University, the county government officials present, representative of National Cooperative Organization, distinguished guests, academic presenters and participants from the academic and the cooperative movement across Africa and beyond, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Ogamba, we are deeply honored to have you. We know your schedule is very unforgiving, and being with us this day, we do not take it for granted. On a light note, Professor Ngamau said that he is adjusting to work with our Chancellor. I hope I'm not very stressful and pressing one. So I hope his schedules have not changed much. Ladies and gentlemen, first let me assert my profound delight to be part of this conference, albeit virtually. We are always advised to learn for as long as we live. And we gather here on this day as a global cooperative economy, more so our two countries together with guests from across our continent to continue learning. Congratulations to our government, State Department for Cooperatives, of course supported by our Ministry of Education, the Cooperative University of Kenya and Moshi Cooperative University, Tanzania, for getting the whole movement in one room. More important, our guests, keynote speakers, panelists, and participants, thank you for showing up to share your acumen, your experiences, and to speak to issues that matter. Special appreciation as I join fellow leaders to our sponsors. We are deeply grateful for your support, and we look forward to more opportunities for engagement going forward. Our chief guests, Waziri, we are proud of our two public universities, CUK and Moku. This, the only universities on our continent specializing in matters of cooperative movement, cooperative development. These two institutions manufacture the world's greatest asset, human capital, with expertise in cooperatives. Therefore, a mutual exchange of knowledge and experience led by these two institutions will always be a powerful force of transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, 2025 is the UN International Year of Cooperatives. And reflect on its theme, cooperatives build a better world. It is timeless, especially when we only have 4 years remaining in this decade of Sustainable Development Goals. Therefore, our greatest primary task as we gather is to reimagine how to put people to work. Our restless, and rightly so, young people, and I know in the room we have the CEO for National Youth Council, Glory. This is no unsolvable problem if we face it wisely and courageously through cooperatives, but not only by talking about it, but through action and acting quickly, formally and informally. I always pose the question, why? Why aren't our cooperatives? Why is the cooperative economy not emerging as a powerful force for job creation, particularly in rural areas and informal settlements? Why aren't our savings cooperatives mobilizing financial resources to drive economic growth and at scale? I'm seated here in China, and some of very fundamental infrastructure have been financed by resources from cooperative financial institutions. Why can't we do it on our continent? Waziri, we gather at a time when we must reflect on the transformative role of the cooperative movement in driving economic prosperity and social progress. Our governments, working with all stakeholders, must unleash unprecedented cooperative stimulus program in our counties. I deeply thank the Kenya government, led by our President, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, and through our chief guest, CS Honorable Ogamba, and our line Ministry of Education, because you have continued to elevate the engagement with Cooperative University of Kenya. The ministry continues to inspire us to be a better institution. Thank you, sir. To Honorable Dr. and the Ministry of Cooperatives, when I was installed as the second chancellor for the Cooperative University, the Ministry of Cooperatives invited us and we were honored, led by our Vice Chancellor. And the ministry asked us a fundamental question. How can we help CUK achieve its mandate to the cooperative sector? We do not take that for granted and we will not drop the baton. Cooperative University of Kenya, with a cooperative courage, will be counted in the transformation of our country. I'm very excited about CUK and Africa Guarantee Fund cooperation. At this juncture, we are co-creating a cooperative stimulus technical assistance program under the Chancellor's Legacy Program. And we look forward to working with both levels of government and the movement in the coming months for impact. The CUK Chancellor Legacy Program was there its own course. We have and continue to assemble a coalition of partners for this extremely ambitious proposition. And I'm happy that the Kenya government, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Cooperatives, and Ministry of Treasury continue to consider the instruments and tools. And I'm happy, Waziri Ogamba, your ministry has already approved our finance facility, and we look forward to the support of Treasury. And shortly we will call on the stakeholders as we step into implementation. The stakeholders have always been dependable partners and we are grateful. In conclusion, as we strive towards a new vision for the growth of the cooperative movement, one thing is clear: we cannot do this alone. All stakeholders must each play their part. It is in harnessing the power of the collective that we can more effectively support our movement to reach its fullest potential despite headwinds. For the benefit of the cooperative economy, let us continue to keep the spirit of cooperation high and this annual platform open. Only then we can achieve a collective vision of growth for cooperative economies that are strong, balanced, secure, sustainable, and inclusive. Thank you. And I wish every one of us a fruitful engagement during the rest of the conference. Waziri Ogamba and PS Kilemi, thank you.
Thank you very much, the titular head of the university, for that wonderful encouragement. Our chief guest is a good friend of yours. And I will ask all the participants, when you go to China, please be greeting our youngest chancellor in the world. And I know most of you participants, you normally travel to China regularly. Thank you very much, titular head, Dr. William Chitunga. And God bless you as you stay in China, taking care of the cooperative movement at the Cooperative University of Kenya, and also by extension, the Moshi Cooperative University also. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
With all protocols observed, I think now is the juncture to invite our Permanent Secretary, State Department of Cooperatives, Honorable Patrick Remy, to give his remarks, and by extension invite our chief guest to give his remarks. Most welcome, Honorable Patrick Remy.
Honorable Cabinet Minister, allow me to stand by protocols already stated. It's a pleasure to be here today. I am always with the university, Cooperative University. I feel I'm a part and parcel of this university. Let me acknowledge the presence of the Commission of Cooperatives. Pan Obonyo, please stand up and wave. No, Pan Obonyo is the carrier of the cooperative law. So, that is my chief technical advisor. And that name betrays him, Waziri. I suspect he comes from your mother county. So we are grateful to have you, Obonyo. Thank you for your service to the country. All the time I think about the wisdom of the people who came before us and said we need a cooperative university. I ask, what were they thinking? Because there are other things. They could have formed another university. There are other things which maybe deserve. But they said, this cooperative needs a university. Then I asked myself, has the university done its work? Is there work left? Then I think about the challenges of this generation. I think about, you hear about big data, you hear about artificial intelligence. Then you ask, has the university done its bit? Is there work left for the university? Not only our university, but also Moshi, our partner university and all the other universities which are working with the cooperatives. Then you realize it's like we have barely scratched the surface, Waziri. And thank you for coming. I look at where we want to go as a country, and then the wisdom of the people who came, the founders of this nation, Waziri, from an historical perspective. When Jomo Kenyatta took over, he said, we need to Africanize the economy. And our first blueprint, now we have Vision 2030, was session paper number 10 of 1965. I think that particular committee was led by the late Omboya. And they said, for us to Africanize the economy, we need to go the cooperative way. And so we had our first law around that particular time. At the moment, did very well. But have we reached Canaan? The answer, as you may know, is Canaan. Canaan seems like a mirage. We never seem to get there. So I want to thank the president, but in his wisdom, this fifth administration said, he went back to factory settings. He said, let me form a Ministry of Cooperatives and MSAB. In the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, he said, what do we want as a country? What is prosperity for us as a country? And how do we get there? The challenges of the moment are stated in the 5 pillars. And these 5 pillars are supported by the enablers. And one of the key enablers is cooperatives. Because of its power of aggregation, because of the power of people coming together, the solidarity economy. And it's huge, it's big. This university, Cooperative University, has a memorandum of understanding with Mondragon University. Mondragon University in Spain is a corporation. If you Google, you see Mondragon Corporation. It's huge. In fact, the next time you fly a A380 Airbus, just know some spare parts are made by a cooperative in Spain, which is part of the Mondragon Corporation, a cooperative. This can only be done. This is only possible with the support of intellectuals, and our intellectuals are domiciled in our public, in our higher institutions of higher learning. And cooperative university is the source for us as cooperative movement. It is the anchor. Myself, when I travel around, watch Professor Nyamongo, I normally is on spin dial. I ask him, they're asking me this question, what do I see? In fact, I think even when I went to the Solidarity Conference in San Sebastian, is the one who did for me the speech. Because I wanted to be relevant when I'm speaking to people who know. Waziri was asking yesterday, was saying there was the Vice Chancellor, when you want to build a stadium and our contractors, you know, contractors in town are funny. They bring issues, the president calls the military, and the work gets done. Today, we have challenges in the cooperative movement. And the law says when the cooperative gets into we get some experts, even to do liquidation, the very final act. Are we following back to our universities to help us in this? In fact, I was telling Waziri last night, the biggest challenge we have in circle management come from the universities which pride of themselves in teaching, having the best business schools in entrepreneurship, MBAs, but they can't run their own circles. Peter there, the CEO of SASA, he will tell you the story about it. Yeah. Are we not practicing what we teach? I challenge you, university. Look, the world now is being driven by data. What do you think AI gets information from? What do you think ChatGPT gets information from? So from data. Big data, big credible data. But do we have data in this country? You'll be surprised. Even simple things. How many cooperative societies do you have in Kenya? Commissioner will tell me we estimate to have 30,000. What are these cooperatives doing? Waziri, you want our sponsors. You did not see them big. Our sponsors are our own cooperatives. And I really want to appreciate those sponsors because it shows we have an ecosystem that is sustainable. The question is, are we doing enough? My brother from Tanzania, police circle in this country is just not a circle. It plays a critical role in our security infrastructure. Because the Waziri will tell you, yeah, sometimes we get into exchequer challenges. But the police of this country will never know. Because police circle pays their salary faithfully. By the 20th, 21st, there, all the salaries are paid. When they get a check on 5th or whatever, everybody is. And I tell the chair of the police circle, and I want a representative from police circle to pass our appreciation for all they do. Why is the police circle of Kenya not spreading the good manners to Tanzania police circle and Uganda police circle and the other African countries? We had, in fact, in Arusha today, we have, in draft law, East Africa Cooperative Act, which is gathering dust. Cooperation, one of the principles of cooperatives is cooperation within cooperatives. This is a clear demonstration, this joint conference. But are we doing enough? Are people cooperating? Because if you look at the top 10 of the circles in Africa, Kenya has 7. Of course, we would like to feel nice, but we want to work with the others. Why can't we have police circle, the Kenya police circle, working with the police circle of Tanzania to make them as big as they are, to spread these good manners of the culture of saving, the culture of supporting young people. Where is the university as we talk about these big issues of the moment? Where is police circle, for example? Where is the university? When you're discussing big issues, we're talking about housing. And one of the principles of cooperative is democracy. Because democracy has been abused in this country. democracy. In fact, the drafters of our Constitution 2010 you try to visualize what the people would like, what the citizenry would like. In fact, the experts sat and said, what if the people don't want the president? How do they remove him? And they're trying to figure it out. How do we put it? Is that if the citizens of a country do not want them, how do they remove it? They do not say you match state house and ban state house. That's what we see. Because you are leaders, my appeal to you is, let us not take what we have for granted. The fact that we can come to Naivasha today and discuss cooperative, let us not take that piece for granted. I happen to have worked in Congo, in Rwanda for a while. And I know today in Goma, you cannot sit down and discuss any issues because before you sit down and settle and do the catharsis, you hear gunshots. Everything we say, we must have a country. I think it's very important that we tell, because the university has the biggest population of Gen Zs and the young people, we tell them it is important that we have the rule of law and order. It is important that everything we want to do, we do it within the provisions, within the framework of a constitution. Because what it takes to bring law and order, don't take it for granted. The fact that a policeman will stop me as a PS and stop, that is, despite the fact that is law and order, that I respect that he has the powers to ask me a question, who are you, where are you going? Let us never take that for granted. Because it is within the framework, that setup, that the cooperative movement will contribute to make our economy thrive. Give us information. I look forward to the SASRA report, annual SASRA report. They say, the movement is big. We estimate it to be around, again, estimate 3 trillion shillings. The circle movement, we have deposits of around, cash deposits of around, people savings around, say 1.2 trillion. Around 1.1, 1.15. We are doing financial intermediation of around 95%. The money is out there. I look forward to the SASRA report because they try to ask, these people who are taking money, where are they taking it? It's interesting. We are big players in affordable housing. In fact, the banks cannot come close to us. I've seen this again. Since independence, as a country, we have given less mortgages than 5,000 mortgages. It's 70 years. Why is this? Where is the university? Where are those people who are doing their PhD research? Why are they not giving this data? When you see Harvard University stand against the most powerful person in the world, what does that tell you? The university is anchored on strong grounds. The university is, the establishment is such that it is able to generate income from its research work. When you go to there, they tell you, this was developed by this and this particular individual who used to sit in this desk. I think the professor told us that yesterday. Where is cooperative university? Our second pillar is agriculture. Agriculture is organized around cooperatives. Today, they want the policy is America first. When you hear America first, you also say Kenya first, you say Tanzania first. But when you're talking about your first, you go to the market with your finest. And we know we have people. Let me tell you, every Monday, God never places you here to be just useless, to be waiting for a lot. Everybody is useful. The president says, ask, how can we have all Kenyans put their hands on the deck? How can we harness the power of each and every individual in this country, especially the people within the working age group? We have a median age of 19. In Europe, Japan is now 45, 55. Our country and Africa, we are blessed with the young people who are giving us challenges. We need to convert that challenge to an opportunity. I've talked about the role of the university, the role of the cooperative movement in supporting our 5 pillars. Waziri, if you do simple mathematics, with deposits of around 1.2 trillion, our number is 1% per month. I challenge the movement to try to come to single digits, because that's where the country wants to go. But even if you work with 10%, so it means the movement is generating income from interest from its members of around 140 billion. That's a huge amount of money. And that's why the sponsors are able to do what they are doing through their CSR. You have heard the story of Marisha in Kericho Waziri. I asked the CEO last week, how many babies do you have now? He told me they are 70 plus. So Waziri, continue building classes. We are giving you children to go to those classes. In fact, it's not giving you children. We are also building classes. Police Circle today, if you go to Gilgil Academy, Gilgil boys and Gilgil girls, Police Circle has spent millions of shillings. It's a modern school for policemen children. In fact, the biggest stack is for policemen children. My appeal is, again, let us look at corporate social responsibility. Let us look at how we respond to issues to do with climate change, and the university must lead us. The university must lead us by research, by believable data on how we are going to spend our resources. The one today, and the chancellor said it, we are looking at the 17 issues as stated by the United Nations in the Sustainable Development Goals. As a movement, our response is the 7 principles of cooperatives. The 7 principles of cooperative is a prescriptive solution to the challenges facing humanity. And that is why the President's wisdom said, you as cooperative come and enable these pillars so that we get the outcomes we want. The outcomes we want is prosperity for our people. I really don't believe that. I thought it's important for me to tell you the importance of having a nation, the importance of the university, our university ecosystem in supporting this country in developing policies that drive the decisions the country makes. And I want to thank the Cooperative University. I know because of the support you give the ministry, you have made a few enemies, but you should not shy. You are playing your rightful role. I know, of course, we have many challenges. I think the most important thing is to work together, and with the support of the president, with the support of the administration, we can make this university. Waziri, yesterday, the Vice Chancellor, let us look at this niche. There's so much you can do in this cooperative sector, in this social solidarity economy. There's so much you can do to expand the sphere, the influence of cooperative university in this country. Allow me to bring greetings from my cabinet minister, Honorable FCPA, Dr. Wycliffe Abetz of Paranamis, South Africa. He could have wished to be here, but again, Waziri will represent him. So today I join you on this occasion of the Cooperative Stakeholders Annual Conference and the 8th Annual Scientific Conference of this year, 2025. I really want to commend the organizers, working together with my state department and the Monash Cooperative University for this joint conference. This collaboration exemplifies the spirit of unity that defines the cooperative movement. As we gather here, I'm confident that the deliberation over these 3 days will yield actionable insights that can propel the sector forward, both locally and regionally. In fact, globally. Ladies and gentlemen, the cooperative movement in Kenya play a vital role in the country's socio-economic development, actively participating across all sectors, be it in finance, agriculture, transport, housing, investment, and even in consumer services. They have long been a backbone of a community-driven development, from mutual aid societies to today's vibrant circles, agriculture unions, and our worker-owned corporate enterprise. Their contributions are far-reaching, significantly enhancing employment creation, financial inclusion, agricultural productivity, and importantly, poverty reduction. In Africa, they hold immense potential to address systematic challenges and foster inclusive and prosperous growth. To support and strengthen the impact of this movement, the government of Kenya, led by His Excellency the President William Samoei Ruto, has developed a new paper, number 4 of 2020, which was themed promoting cooperative for socio-economic transformation. In particular, the policy highlights the pivotal role of the Cooperative University of Kenya in delivering a one-class cooperative education, training, research, urging institutions to position itself as a regional and continental leader in advancing the cooperative movement. The Kenya government remains steadfast in its commitment to fostering the cooperative sector as a cornerstone of our bottom-up economic transformation agenda. In recent months, we have advanced several key initiatives to modernize and empower our cooperatives. We are pushing forward with a bill number 7 of 2024. We are also amending our SACCO Act of 2008 to streamline the regulations, enhance transparency, and protect our members' interests, our efficient management and service delivery, enforce robust governance structures, and forge strategic partnership to expand their reach. The theme of this year's conference, Cooperatives Build a Better World, is really aligned with the United Nations theme for year 2025, the year of cooperatives, which is, of course, Cooperatives Build a Better World, re-energizing the collective power of cooperatives in Africa. It is both timely and deeply very relevant. These themes align, yes, as I've said, with the United Nations. It is in this context, the call to re-energize the cooperative movement sector is not just a thematic expression. It is a rallying point for innovation, collaboration, and inclusive growth across Africa and the diaspora. The cross-border partnership between COK and MOCU is particularly noteworthy. It is the only two public universities in the continent dedicated to cooperative development, and your joint effort in education, research, knowledge exchange, and breaking barriers and building bridges across the East African regions are well celebrated and acknowledged. By sharing best practices, curricula, and resources, you are not only enhancing capacity, but also inspiring new generation of cooperative leaders. This Tanzanian Kenya synergy further strengthens regional integration and amplifies our collective voice on the global stage. I urge you to sustain and expand this alliance, perhaps through joint research hubs, and exchange programs to drive even greater impact. At this point, I can say I look forward to attending the Moshi conference next year. Globally and in Africa, cooperatives face challenges like adapting rapid digital disruption, which can exclude underserved communities if not addressed inclusively. Climate change poses existential threats, disrupting agricultural cooperatives and food security while demanding urgent shift towards sustainable practices. Economic inequalities persist, with youth and women often underrepresented in leadership roles, limiting the sector's innovative potential. To the delegates here today, I pose these challenges for your reflection and deliberations. How can we integrate cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, blockchain into cooperatives operations without leaving behind rural and marginalized members? What strategies will ensure greater youth engagement and entrepreneurship in cooperatives to combat unemployment and drive innovation in the face of the climate change challenge we have? And finally, how can we scale up cooperative-led initiatives in clean energy, recycling, and biocircular economies to achieve true food sovereignty. These questions demand bold and actionable responses from all of us, policymakers, scholars, practitioners, and many entrepreneurs across our region. As I conclude, I commend this university, the Cooperative University, for its continued role as a thought leader and a convener of dialogue in the cooperative space. This joint conference reflects the power of partnership and shared purpose in advancing the cooperative agenda. Let us seize this opportunity to build stronger institutions, empower communities, and leave a legacy of transformation through cooperatives. With these many remarks, it is now my distinct pleasure and honor to invite our chief guest, the Honorable Cabinet Minister for Education, to come and make his keynote address. Wasiri tafadhali.
Thank you, PS. Please be seated. Thank you. As I was sitting there, I felt like the PS ametupatia msomo sana. But I think he wanted to provoke our thoughts so that as we do this conference, those issues are running through our minds. So the Principal Secretary, State Department for Cooperatives, Mr. Patrick Kilemi, the Chancellor, the Cooperative University of Kenya, Dr. Bernard Chitunga, Chairperson of the Cooperative University of Kenya Governing Council, Dr. Jeremy Bundi, members of the Cooperative University of Kenya Governing Council present here today, the Vice Chancellor, the Cooperative University of Kenya, Professor Kamau Ngamau. I always think that you should be Kamau. Vice Chancellor, Moshi University, Moshi Cooperative University, Professor Alfred Sife, the Commissioner of Cooperatives present here today, senior government officials present, esteemed leaders of the cooperative movement, distinguished scholars, practitioners, partners, sponsors, students, and friends, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Habari asubuhi. Mko salama? I'm here today for several reasons, one of which has been alluded to by Professor Ngamau, that Cooperative University is very unique because it has or is grounded on the basis of two parents. Akasema mmoja ni mama mzazi, mwingine ni mama mlezi. The Ministry of Cooperatives, State Department of Cooperatives, ndio mama mzazi. The Ministry of Education, mama mlezi. Lakini ningependa kubadilisha kidogo. Mimi naona Cooperatives, Department of Cooperatives, Ministry of Cooperatives, ibaki kuwa mama mlezi. Lakini Ministry of Education, ikuwe ni baba ya hiyo university. Asa tuko hapa kwa sababu mimi ndiye baba. Ama namna gani? Jambo la pili. The Cooperative University is very special to this Baba or the Ministry of Education. I was appointed to this position last year at the time when there was a lot of turmoil in the university. And there were strikes and many other things were taking place. In fact, on the 5th of September 2024, when students were supposed to open, we almost did not open the universities because they had threatened to go on strike, basically because of funding. Tukang'ang'ana na hawa mpaka tukaendelea na hiyo kazi. Around October, I accompanied the president to the COFEC 2024 in China. Na pale nikakutana na huyu kijana anaitwa was a cooperatives university. And that is how he ended up being the youngest chancellor heading a public university in Kenya. And I think the chairman said he's the youngest chancellor in the world. And the reason is we need to change the way we see our institutions and the way we run our institutions. And the programs we agreed, including what he's calling the Chancellor's Legacy programs, he has already started working on them. And the ministry has approved quite a number of those programs, and I'm sure that what we agreed will come to fruition. So cooperative university is critical for us because we want to ensure that it leads in this sector in terms of running and ensuring that it is almost funding itself eventually. So we are working on a strategy together to ensure that cooperative university, his head, or it is above the shoulders or above the head of the rest of the universities. The other reason why I'm here is because I'm a member of very many cooperatives organizations. So I'm here for my own self. And I was glad to note that some of the sponsors here are connected to us, and I'm very happy that this conference has actually been sponsored by ourselves. Ama namna gani? Sasa kuna baba, kuna mama, na wale watoto wamepatikana huku ndani, wameanza kufanya kazi vizuri ya kutulisha. So we don't have a problem in this sector. I think it is a sector that, as the PS says, if we remodel a little bit, we can be able to do great things. And it's because perhaps we've not aligned ourselves properly, and we want cooperative university to come up with these tools. For instance, for the road sector, we just borrowed 175 billion from out of the country. The 1.2 trillion that is within the country under the cooperatives movement would be resources available to us to borrow internally. So we need to start thinking, how do we reorganize, restructure, and come up with tools to support ourselves? So ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to join you this morning at this gathering of visionaries and change makers. This joint cooperatives conference is a milestone event, bringing together the third cooperative movement stakeholders annual conference and the 8th annual scientific conference. First, I extend my deepest appreciation to the organizers, the Ministry of Cooperatives and MSMEs, through the State Department for Cooperatives, the Co-Operative University of Kenya, and the Moshi Cooperative University, Tanzania. And this is for creating this powerful space of engagement, reflection, and renewal. This gathering not only reflects deep intellectual planning, but also demonstrates the organizers' capacity to convene diverse voices across borders, from scholars, policymakers, to grassroots practitioners and youth innovators. The depth of the agenda, the quality of discourse anticipated, and the relevance of the subject themes signal a maturity of leadership and vision in our cooperative academic institutions. You have raised the bar, and I applaud you. On behalf of the Ministry of Education and the Government of Kenya, receive our warmest gratitude for championing the cause of the cooperative movement in the African continent. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2025 is particularly symbolic. It marks the 180th anniversary of the modern cooperative movement. At the same time, we reflect on the conclusion of the United Nations' first international decade for people of African descent. These two moments converge powerfully here in Naivasha, offering us a rare opportunity to examine our journey, our identity, and our future as a people organized through the cooperatives movement. The theme of this year's conference, Cooperatives Build a Better World, Re-energizing the Collective Power of Cooperatives in Africa, is both a reminder and a rallying call. It reminds us of the historic role that cooperatives have played in fostering economic integrity and social cohesion. It calls us to action, to revitalize our institutions, reimagine our models, and reaffirm our commitment to inclusive, sustainable growth. I am particularly encouraged by the academic rigor and practical insights embedded in this conference. Cooperatives are not only grassroots enterprises, they are knowledge-driven movements, and our universities and research institutions must play a central role in studying, innovating, and documenting cooperative experiences. Indeed, the Cooperative University of Kenya and the Moshi Cooperative University continue to shine as thought leaders in this space, and I commend your efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, as the Cabinet Secretary for Education, I see education as the foundation upon which the future of the cooperative movement must be built. Let us go beyond traditional training and embed cooperative values in our school curricula, our universities' research, and our national development plans. Let us produce cooperative-minded engineers, doctors, teachers, and entrepreneurs. Education must not merely teach the cooperative model, but it must live it. And we must speak to our young people, given that Africa's greatest resource is its youth. The current crop of youth get attracted to concerns that make economic sense, and they know how to search for these opportunities using digital technologies. Let us therefore make a deliberate effort to create opportunities for viable youth-led cooperatives in agriculture, creative industries, green energy, and the digital economy. Let us retool our innovation hubs, incubators, and TVET institutions to support cooperative entrepreneurship and other enterprises. Cooperatives must become a vibrant part of the youth employment agenda. Ladies and gentlemen, we cannot speak of the future of cooperatives without addressing innovation and technology. From mobile banking and blockchain-based SACCO management systems to AI-driven agricultural cooperatives and climate resilience platforms, the digital age offers immense potential. The success of the cooperatives movement globally is what led to the United Nations to declare 2025 an International Year of Cooperatives to celebrate their contribution to the socio-economic transformation of the people and the attainment of sustainable development goals. I challenge our researchers and tech developers to partner with cooperatives to solve real problems. Problems of access, problems of productivity, problems of governance and equity. Climate change remains one of the defining challenges of our time. Cooperatives are ideally placed to lead community-driven responses to climate adaptation and sustainability. Whether through climate-smart farming, renewable energy, cooperatives, circular economies cooperatives and initiatives, or biodiversity conservation, these cooperatives lead and become the face of our continent's green transition. Today, we also acknowledge the role of the African diaspora. Their contribution to cooperative development in different parts of the world is profound. As we celebrate the end of the UN decade for the people of African descent, the end of the UN decade for the African people of descent, let us establish lasting networks and platforms that connect Africa and diaspora cooperative scholars and practitioners. Let this be the start of a global African cooperative renaissance. The government of Kenya remains committed to creating a conducive environment for cooperatives to flourish. Through legislative reform, digitization of registries, and support for enterprise education, we are laying the groundwork for an agile and responsive cooperative ecosystem. I urge institutions represented here to partner with the Ministry of Education and other departments to scale the impact through curriculum reform, internship placements, innovation challenges, and community outreach. Ladies and gentlemen, this conference would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. This level of support is beyond beneficial commitment or financial commitment. You have demonstrated a belief in a movement that touches millions of lives. Your support affirms that the cooperative sector is not marginal, but it is foundational. Let this conference, therefore, be more than a meeting of minds. Let it be a forging of new commitments, a challenge each one of you to walk out of this event with concrete action, a new partnership, a policy idea, a youth program, a research paper, or an innovative project that will change the trajectory of the cooperative movement in your context. Let us remember that the greatness of Africa has always been rooted in its sense of community. Cooperatives are an expression of that greatness, of our belief that we are stronger together than apart. It is time to re-energize and have that collective power. Thank you all, and may this conference bear fruits that will nourish our continent and its diaspora for generations to come. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki, na Watanzania wenzangu, pelekeni salamu zetu kule nyumbani. Asante sana, tuonane Moshi next year. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, our Chief Guest, Waziri. Thank you, participants. You may take your seats. Please, let's once again appreciate our Chief Guest. And no. Tulisema hii ni ile ya masomo. We do it in an academic way. Sidio hiyo? Please, sugua mikono. Sugua mzuri. This one we are going to 6 factorial. Let's start. 1, 2, go. Watu wote wako na karibu A. Mathematicians. We feared mathematics, but now factorial, all of us have passed that exam. Our Chief Guest, thank you so much for that session. We really are honored and greatly appreciate as a cooperative university. Now, Chief Guest, ladies and gentlemen, at this moment, I would like to humbly invite us for a group photo that is going to be taken outside this auditorium at the lawn. And immediately after the group photo, our Chief Guest will invite you for a cup of tea, and the rest of us also break away to our respective tea area, which is going to be served outside this auditorium. And we request our media team, if you may organize us please, so that we take the shortest time possible to allow us move on to the next session, where we are going to have a keynote speaker moving on as per the program as indicated. So ladies and gentlemen, our Chief Guest, please, we'll be starting, allow our Chief Guest to exit, and then we'll be able to enjoin our Chief Guest outside for the group photo. So please allow our Chief Guest to exit. Our media team, led by Victor, Jogu, kindly guide the Chief Guest and the team where we are having the photo. All right, please, we can now follow our Chief Guest very fast to go and have a group photo, and then we come back for our cup of tea. Thank you.